Okay, well this looks interesting and fun. So, get something going here. Now, since we have all this and everything, we have a weapon script. Okay, weapon transmission, that looks okay for me. Weapon base logic, that probably should be its own thing one of these days, but I'm gonna let it go for that. But what I am thinking about doing is my own little customization for animating, maybe, possibly. Haven't decided yet. So, what can we do here? Do. I have that movement stuff and things. And I have that. Well, we need some other stuff. Before we can get it to the point where we have everything, we need to make sure we got shots, full auto, bursts. What was I gonna do that had me thinking of something else? I can't exactly remember now. But I did make it where we have more of a managing class now. Oh, that's what it was. Why does these have monoscripts but the other ones do not? Is it because start game logic doesn't have an on enable or on disable? It's override, and that. So why does the other ones have a disable and this one does not? What's in the save thing? Override some things, avoid update. That's probably why it is behaving that way, is because there's actually an update in there. I actually have to have that in there, but it doesn't do anything. It's empty, so it doesn't do anything at all, which kind of makes it a crock. So I probably should. No, I don't want it to do that. It's going to be updating, but it's empty, so it's not really going to do anything. But it's a crock, though, because, well, I could change that up. Manager base doesn't have a virtual loading thing. And the game state doesn't actually care about that part. I actually don't have it updating the way it probably should right now, so I could probably have it unsubscribe and subscribe, yeah, to its stuff. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad, I guess. Hard to tell. But that's okay. So yeah, it's probably going to be more happier with that. Huh. Let's see. What we do have our stuff, so that is the point. But what I was going to change in our thing is the way we do inputs, which I'm fine with for the most part, but the problem is we have all this other stuff that needs to go on. Firing, I'm fine with until we go to run. Okay? Which kind of sucks. So we're going to have to change some stuff around to get it to work correctly. Because if we're running, we don't want to disable the zooming mechanism. So what are we doing? What are we doing? We will need to get our protection level off here, most likely. We have our virtual functions and stuff, yeah. Horizontal and stuff, that can be perfectly fine. The automatic stuff, I'm fine with it being there. Kind of. If walking, yeah, there's so many things in here that need like certain things to happen that it's just not what I want. Because it's like it's fighting itself. This auto thing, I'm fine with that. But it's the walking mechanism that needs to change. So how are we going to change this to be better? That's a good question. And my easiest solution to that probably involve 2 if statements. And our own private functions. I mean, I like to get away from if statements and stuff like that, but this is kind of justifiable in a way. This will be a function by itself that will be private. Void input 1. Okay, and we will do I'm fine with that, but auto and stuff right here looks like it should be here. Okay, it looks like it should be there. Okay, so auto 1, no run. Okay, this is no running whatsoever. So automatically we want if walking is true, then we're probably running. No. If walking is false, that's when we're running. So or is it the other way around? I don't know. It's one of the other. Vertical and stuff I'm fine with. We can take this and get rid of it. For some. Changing? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Actually, no. Walking equals false, we can zoom. Okay, so yeah, I want it to only be able to change when we're not running. That makes sense. That's kind of a little bit more interesting, right? Okay, and walking equals false, then we can do the zooming, right? Is that what that's all? Oh. So in this state over here, I'm just going to put walking equals false. Right off the bat, no problem, no checks, no nothing. It will automatically be false and be forced to be false when it's in this state. Which will happen after the update anyway. So walking equals false, we can do this stuff. It will have no problem doing this stuff. I have no problem doing this. But since walking equals false, we can go no running right here. Okay? And call this function. Updates and everything else. Okay, and there we go. Alright, and we will put this up here because it makes more sense to me. I don't know why, but it just does. Okay. So if else, which isn't my forte, but else if and we will put equals true. Oh, yeah, I want that bracket to be up there because it makes more sense. Instead of false, we're going to do true here. Oh my gosh, really? It's going to be like that? Okay. So, in our statement with run and stuff, we will have another function yes run, input yes run, okay, which when we're running, we don't care about none of this crap, okay? We don't care about none of this crap either. True. Okay. Zooming equals false. We don't do the zoom stuff. And that's about it right there. So we move the logic into statements like so. It's two little checks. It's not that bad. We don't need these checks right here. For this walk stuff and things, we don't need any checks. What the heck am I doing? We don't need that because our actual input is changing that. So walking equals true, zooming equals false. What other stuff do we want him to do that he cannot do any other time? Well, we already took the logic out that he cannot shoot when he's running, which is what I want most of the time anyway. I mean, and I went that whole time without showing any code, which I suck. Okay, whatever, but it'll be okay. Alright. So we have that up there now. And it does all that stuff. Good, 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 good. And we have that happening. So if it's true, we do this. This functionality right here. Which gets us away from all that other checking and stuff that we was doing and forcing. Because when we're running, we don't want we want the horizontal all the time. That's fine. We want the vertical. That's fine. We want to set the walking all the time, right? But these checks right here for these single things to these functions make sure that we can't fire or do anything like silly. So that keeps us doing what we need to do. So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot better than what I had before, because this is the stuff that I wanted to prevent anyway. So when we go back into our probably our weapon behavior script, we can change this dramatically now. It's weapon movement. We don't have to do all these checks right here. Okay? These checks are ridiculously long and stupid, and I just don't like them. Well, it is kind of dumb. So how are we going to deal with that? How are we going to deal with that? Well, that is an interesting question. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to change this at all. Nope. It should have made it a lot easier to do. Zooming. Well, we don't really change the position when we're... Only when we're zooming do we change our position. Yeah, that's the only time we are actually changing our thing. So, oh, I don't know. We might be able to change this up quite a bit. I'll just have to wait till a little bit later for that one. Because if I change it now, it might be a pain in the butt later. Reloading. You have these two checks here, which I'm fine with it doing those two checks right there. Those isn't, they're not heavy. Just, you know, kind of dumb. We have our classes right here. This shoot thing, I like that. I like to get rid of some of this, actually. This behavior isn't even being called. It's unreachable code. No, actually, yeah, it is. Crap. One, if it's... It probably is an unreachable code. This should always be executed. Well, let's take this and cut this and put it up on top. I would feel better if it was on the top, because that's actually what it's doing anyway. it's changing our states around and stuff like that for weapons. So we'll have like automatic, have all that stuff. We can have it do a shotgun thing, a burst, if we really wanted to, but it's not really ideal for a burst fire. So I have shotgun, I have all that stuff. Yeah, I think a lot of the weaponry stuff is pretty much done. Pretty enjoyable actually. So this is definitely the weapon. So what about the player? What about player scripts? Let's do a player folder. Because there might be stuff that we want to do anyway. And let's do a C# class. Advanced player object. And then we will have a player base. Player base. What? That makes absolutely no sense. Delete. I want a player base script. Okay. Alright, so we've got this script right here, which I'm fine with and everything. I'm cool with it having some stuff. But the first thing that I needed to do is, yeah, let's just make it public for now. We're going to do player base. And have this will be an array. Player state. And in our, oh, before we do anything, just this annoying thing, let's change the line ending thing so it'll quit complaining about that stuff. And then we will go into our player base script, and we're going to have some stuff in here, which again, this is going to be a public virtual on start, so it doesn't have the mono behavior junk. On update, public virtual. Okay, so it doesn't do the update when we don't want it to. And we are going to do a public enum cur state cur player. Yeah, let's call it cur player. Why not, right? And then we'll go the idle I think that's how you spell idle. And then what about walking, running, aiming could possibly. I mean, it could happen, right? But walking is kind of enabling the aiming, so let's delete the aiming for now, because that doesn't make sense. Idle, walking, and running. Ooh, and we might have chatting. That could be a thing. And then death. Player's dead, so we don't want anything to happen at that point. Yeah, that sounds legit, right? I mean, why not, right? So, alright, so we have our advanced player, and now we will do our private current player. Player. Let's just call it player actor. Well, why not? Sounds completely, utterly ridiculous, but it could happen, right? So, what do we do? Well, good question. Because we need to write some states. Okay. Writing some states requires us to make some C# classes. So in our player base, we need an idle function. Alright. An idle function. What are we going to do in idle? Well, we could play some idle animations and like have the camera like spin around and stuff. That could be cool, right? So let's make a C# class. Add. Actually, I'm just going to make Unity do it. Because that's what most people do anyway, and I don't want to confuse you guys. So, alright. Now we're cooking. Inputs, go bye-bye. Line ending, alright. So we need to inherit from player base, right? Right. So player base. Not in this one, but in not in playing, spawning, start game, saving logic, idle behaviors script. That's a stupid name, but whatever. So we're inheriting, so we're going to need our start and function stuff. So public override on start. And we don't need this crap. And public override on update. We're going to have an update method. We're going to have an update method no matter what, because we're always going to need animations and all that cool stuff. And checks and all that stuff. Well, Let's see. A on start. And we have that. What's our? Oh yeah. Base class. We have idle. So in our advanced player, we're definitely going to have to do some stuff in here, which is going to be a PRP, which is a property, and I'm going to put per player here. Okay, my player state, and we are going to have current player. We're going to have a get and set stuff, and we're going to get rid of this junk. Open this up to make it look prettier, because, well, what? Get and set get, and we will return cur player, the smaller one. Well, cur actor, whatever. That's right. We're cool with that. And then we will do cur actor equals value, which will be fine because we're just setting the enum, okay? And then we'll go down here and we'll have this be a private setup again. And I forget to, man, I always forget to write void all the time. I wish there was like a way where I can just click a button and it'll just do void, and stuff, like a shortcut, like public, private, just go hit like WE and it just writes it for me. That would be sweet. But, you know, guy could wish, right? And what this will do is player state, the array of the enum dot on start, okay? And what we're going to pass in here will be the integer value of cur actor, okay? Because a enum is nothing but an array, so it'll give us a value of an integer, what it is in there. So that will give us our start method for every single state that we have. It'll go start, start, start. Every time we change this, it will run the start functionality, which, you know, that's what we want. So we have this idle state, and it runs this start method, which, you know, I guess is fine or whatever, but do we really care what this does? Well, you know, I mean, I guess we do, but what do we have to do to get this to do something? Well, that is a good question. Because referencing would be cheaper to the thing, but I want blending and other stuff. I mean, I guess we could have a private animator, anim, and then on start with it for the idle, we just go anim dot play, and we have a string we don't care about public string item to play, which equals null by default, and then we just type in our anim to play. I should have put a thing, and it will just do that. And it'll only play it like once. So what else could we do? Well, we can have it do some stuff too. Which is the update. What could we possibly have it do? Well, let's do a public game object. Cam obj. Okay? And what this does is when we play our animation, we will go cam obj dot set active equals true. No, it doesn't go that way. It goes this way. Oh, come on, really? Not there, silly. It was true, and our camera object could rotate, I guess, around us. And we'll just do a simple if. Weapon dot class dot what? Where's our oh, it's weapon class dot input dot horizontal, or not horizontal, or vertical, does not equal 0. Not equal 0. Ooh, actually, we want it to equal 0. Come on. Not plus. Equal. Because most likely they're going to hit their mouse and start moving around and stuff. Then we're going to do this. Cam object dot transform dot local rotation plus equals, actually no, cam object dot transform dot isn't there a translate, rotate around local, locate around, rotate, yeah, no. There's a translate, but there's also a, what's the rotational one? What is the rotational one? Huh. Do 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 do. Thought it was rotate, or is it some kind of stupid lerp or something? API rotation, or is it just a lerp? Okay, rotating. Okay. Oh yeah, it's that stupid thing. I don't like that thing. Forward, no. Rotate. Transform dot rotate vector 3 up and a time speed. So it's rotation. Transform dot I don't want it to do no local rotation. I mean, there's rotate. Oh yeah, that's right. It does that other stuff. Okay, so rotate has some stuff. Okay, it needs a vector, which vector 3 dot, isn't it? Which one do I want again? Yeah, it's up, 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 dot up. Or is it forward? Actually, I think it's forward. And then it needs a float angle. What? No. P. Applies local coordinate system. Yes. Okay. And we probably want to times this by some type of, now we want a speed vector, right? And 1f times by time dot delta time. No. So relative. Really? Doesn't have one to. Really? Wow. No, no. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. I rotate. I want it to be by time dot delta time. Local space. Yes, no. I know they have one that's that way. I ain't stupid. Right, and you don't put the local space in there, and then you can times it by. Really? Okay. Okay, so you don't put this in here, and you just go D, and then a float angle, which is, that makes no sense to me. But let's just put speed times by time dot delta time. I know this value doesn't exist yet, blah blah blah. It's okay. Public PE float SP. We'll have a default to 1F. Bam. Alright. Yeah. Kind of dumb, but whatever. Okay. I guess I can live with that, right? I mean, it could be worse. One F. Okay, and that. Can't believe you don't put that one stuff in. Wait. So that's how you do it. Whatever. Don't care. Works for me. So how do we get it out? Well, we're probably going to have to do a private change state. And I forgot to do the void again. Whee! Yep. Okay. So we'll just do a simple else if, and we do the complete opposite of this. Which I know it's another if statement and stuff like that, but it's only like 1, 2 that it's going to be checking. It's not going to be like a ridiculous amount. I mean, you can't get rid of all if statements. Then we call change state. And we'll do some stuff here. Not public bool, public base equals false. And what this will do is call this once, true, and it'll call initial state. But what we're going to do is get component, and the component we're getting is an object function dot my player state equals player dot walking. Okay, and because we set the walking there, we can go init equals false. So this cycle, when we do this get component like this, it will go, hey, let's change the state. So then this doesn't run again, so we can put this like false. Because it'll take a second for this to do that anyway. And because there's not very much stuff going on in our game, it will do what we need to do. And we can put other logic in here and that kind of stuff, but we could directly put this into the input system as well. And I didn't think about that. Is have like a small little timer thing go on. Or something, but man, whatever. It'll work out just fine. I have faith. Maybe. I guess. But so, oh man, I've been doing this for an hour and so. Whew. No wonder I'm running out of like thoughts and stuff. So we've got this idle behavior script, advanced player. Let's go back over to Unity and get some stuff going. So let's do our object here. We've got our advanced player. Okay. Now he's got these states and stuff. This is our idle state. You know, which it needs stuff. You know, that's no big deal to us, right? So we're gonna plug this in. And like a goofball, I did not do something so we can see what's going on here, which is a serializable field for our enum, because I need it to be private, but I want it to serialize in the inspector. All you have to do above the variable is put serializable field. We've done it 100 times. I don't think I have to show you guys again, but you know, that's the thing, right? Chatting, running, walking. I mean, walking, idle. Ooh, there's another one that we could have. And I never thought about this. Was a couple things. Player base. And I didn't think of this, but what happens if we have chatting? Okay, what about in menu, or is how do you spell pause again? P-A is paused? Because, hey, maybe we paused the game. We hit a button and made the time or something all paused up and stuff. Or maybe we're in the menus. You know? There's a possibility for it. I mean, we just have to make a script for it, but yeah, that could happen. And then up here before chatting, let's do is climbing is how do I spell climb? Gee, mommy. What the? It's 2. I know it's CL something. Is jumping. Let's do is jumping. Don't care about anything else. And what this will give us is we can like get rid of certain behaviors. Like let's say is jumping. We can have logic in there and have this do a bool that does the script for player jumping. Okay. And the great thing about this is if we have a script that does player jumping, okay, we don't have to use this particular script, okay? We can do another one that is player double jumping or double triple jumping. We just have to do it, we just replace like the functionality, okay? Or what needs to happen. Because this is completely modular. I mean, you don't even have to have this state. Well, you kind of do. Yeah, you kind of do, but you can make a custom one. I mean, yeah, you can make a custom one. Then you do this, and you got this. We don't need movement like that. And I got rid of all this right here. That was awesome. Player jumping, and we have to inherit from base, which is fine. I mean, yeah, we know, we already know that. What we need, I'd really like not to keep having no. Okay. Yeah, we'll change that in a second. Put this here. Take this mono behavior off and put this override. Okay, and there you go. Bam. Now we have that. All right. I think this is enough scripting some weird stuff. Scripting some weird stuff, man. It'll be great. So how long we been doing this? More than 60 minutes. That's fine. I don't care. But we've got our compiler stuff and everything. Idle, base, jump. Alright, so in our jump code, well, we don't really need this to do something right now. In all honesty, we just need it. We don't need this right here to do something like that. This needs to exist. That's, or we'll get an error because it doesn't exist. Well, we can have a private. Isn't it called on? deals with the character and controller, and it's like on controller. It's deals with collision for a character controller. Void. Oh man, I wish it would do an autocomplete for voids. That is just character controller. I know it's an API thing. That's a regular mono behavior. Skin with a regular move on controller hit. Yes, that's what we want. And what this is a regular mono behavior, which is epic. Because here's what happens. Okay. It's a regular controller thing. Every single time the controller gets a detection for, being hit below, then it does something. It does it one time and one time only. So on trigger below, can do hit dot controller dot what? I know it's below. What's really? Where? That's what? Collider dot hit. I know there's a way where you can get. Oh, right. Where is it? Hit dot controller dot collision flag. dot interesting. Is grounded. Well, that's dumb. I know. There's really. It says collision flag dot below. What? It wouldn't let me access that. Oh, probably because I'm not using the. Duh. CC dot. No. It says collision flag. Ah. Okay. That makes no sense. Ah, there we go. That's what I was thinking. Not equal below. Then if what we hit isn't below, what are we doing? Good question. It's not below us, then what are we doing? Well, we're probably falling, which we'll probably have in a different thing. But this is actually in our jumping state. So, So we're probably already jumping. So we want to equal something. If it equals that, then What do we do? Good question. Good question. What do we want him to do when he hits the ground? Because this is going to be called... Ooh, yeah, this is going to be called no matter what anyway. Because it's a monoscript thing, so it gets called every single time this gets done. That's right. Not unless we disable the script on leave. That's right. So if it equals below, what do we do? I was thinking about having it do something, but honestly, I don't even know why. Oh, yes, we have to make it, duh. Go back to our original state here. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Which is going to be, we're going to call player dot oh crap. Oh yeah, that's right. Curve player dot walking. And then he's jumping and stuff like that, so we should have him do walking, because that's probably what he's going to be doing anyway, is walking. So every time he hits that, he does walk. And that'll be okay. Yeah, why not? Right? That'll be okay. Actually, I have absolutely no plans on what I'm going to do with this player at this present moment. But I do know this much. When we're at this state, we don't want the player to be able to turn or anything. So, yeah, that's going to be the thing. So, if he's walking or running, then he can do stuff. But any other time, he can't. Which makes a lot of sense, because that is how it should be anyway. I mean, it just makes more sense to me. So when we put a mouse look on here and everything else, we'll have references to certain scripts, but we won't have them do stuff. So jumping and idle. Now we're going to do our walking. And it's a lot of this. I mean, yeah, it seems redundant, but when you see like how much performance you're going to get from just not having a lot of miscellaneous scripts running in the background, you're going to be like, oh man, that's crazy. Reload all. Then we do our initial stuff. Here and here. player walking, and we go here and paste that stuff in. Instead of that, it's going to be an override. Okay. And this is not going to be part of this. We are going to be part of the player base. Yes. Player walking. Player base. Boom. There we go. Alright. So we're in the walking state. And we have our beautiful other script that's going to do logic for us. For walking and stuff. So in our FPS kit, not asset builder, resources, no. Where is it? It's not going to be in there. It's not going to be there. Where is our regular player script? That's going to be stupid if we don't have one. Because we should. In all honesty, we should have like a regular player script. I don't see why we wouldn't. Setup. Ah, here we go. Weapon player. Man, I've got a lot of scripts in this one too. Yikes! Okay, so this is our regular player script that we used to have. Which, you know, is okay, I guess. But we need something a little bit more refined again. So we're going to make sure we have all these stuff for our walking state. Okay, we're going to make sure we have this. Alright. And we're going to have all this garbage. Ooh, no. Actually, we're going to be getting rid of a lot of this garbage. Yikes! Okay, we got character controller, got inputs, speed, direction. Oh, we don't really need this. Which will probably throw some errors later. We don't need reference to camera or weapon script. Don't need this extra stuff here. Don't need this. Our mouse look is going to change, so we don't need that. Okay. So in our classes from the start, we're going to do an orange start method. That's fine. Mouse initial, no. Camera, no. No, and no. So we have this start method. Okay. And then we have this other stuff. This other stuff we don't need. It's just to do stuff. Mouse look rotation, if grounded. Then we do this. And we have that stuff for gravity. Okay, and that's about it. That's about all we need. It's not hard to make a simple controller. Not very hard at all. Nope, nope, nope. But if we're grounded, we do this. That's right. We've got that jumping logic and stuff like that. But we actually really do need. We're probably going to need a simple script to do stuff. Well, we're not going to mess with the jump stuff right now, because the problem with jumping is you need a forward direction and everything else, speed. Character controllers will stop on a dime. Okay, they're not like rigid bodies and stuff like that. They actually will, like, you can go 100 mile an hour and then stop like on a dime. It's crazy dumb, but they're for precision. So this character controller will ignore the jump functions for now, but this will give us our walking around, which is what we want anyway. But we are going to have a problem when it comes to what do we want to do when we're running. Because right now, it doesn't care if we're running or walking or jumping or anything, and that's dumb. I don't like it. So what to do? What to do? Is grounded. Timed up time. Okay, yep. So when we do our we can do it right below here or here, doesn't matter. If input our inputs dot walking equals let's say which way did we put it for our inputs itself, because we changed it and everything, and the problem with when we change stuff is sometimes we can put it backwards for our inputs. Oh, okay. I don't have to do that. All I gotta do is go up to here and go into my main player and do this. Okay, so if walking equals false, so walking equals true, then we have to do a running state. What do we do when we're running, you know, changing the player's speed and all that stuff, you know, making it where, hey, he can go and, like, he can't shoot and all that stuff. And it's true. If it's true, then we have to do some stuff. Which we probably should have a realizable field, so we can do this and do it private. And then go player dot my player state equals, and we're running, right? So we're going to change it to our running state. And we're going to return. Return. So we don't do any other functionality right now. Because you never know. When you're running and stuff like that, you might want to make the gravity like really, really awesome, or like make it where your player can do a run and then like double jump, or some other kind of functions that would be weird. But for the most part, we'll probably just have it do exactly what it's doing right now, except when the player is not running, he can't shoot and stuff, which is the same way here. But if we did it from another script, we'll make sure that it's basically a duplicate of this script, but with different speed. Which, I mean, I could do an enum and have it do a running thing, but do we really want that? That's the thing. Because later on, when we do wall running and stuff, I want to make it where the player has to be running, okay, to do a wall run. That way we don't get other like weird stuff like, hey, he can wall run and shoot at the same time. Or maybe we want that. Maybe we want when he's running, he could do this if we're wall running. And that would be awesome. Or climbing or any other functions. I mean, it's just memory. It's not like it's going to be running an update for every script that we have. It's not. It's not even going to care. It's going to be like a dead script anyway. That's the beauty of using a system like this. It runs so many less functions and if statements and stuff. It's like minimal code. So let's go into our Unity system here, and like I said, there's a lot of scripts in this project. You guys would probably like right here. Look at this. Do 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 do, and it keeps going. And these are all scripts that I built for just tutorial stuff. So yeah, very good stuff for you guys and things. Just saying. There's a lot more to this than just nothing. Okay. So we're in our thing here. We have our player. I mean, there's a lot of little scripts, but do you really care? There's a lot of little scripts. So we've got our idle behavior. What's next on our list? Our walking behavior. So player walking. Get off. Player walking. I don't know why, but you have to like basically have your mouse all the way down here to add a script like that, and it's kind of annoying. And then like sometimes it doesn't update like it should, I guess. And we've got a running state. So do we have running? No, we have not made running yet, have we? We made idle and we made walking, which does what it needs to do. I mean, come on. Advanced player object. Okay. Ooh, did we make it where we have our advanced player object? We haven't made it where it changes and updates other people's scripts, which, you know, that's fine, I guess. It's not going to hurt my feelings about it, but we do need to make it where it does do stuff. So we're going to have to change that stuff. That's fine. I really like systems like this. A lot easier to debug. But like I said, is jumping, chatting, death, I mean, you know, if the player dies, we want this one specific thing to happen. Like in player death, you can have where he puts away his gun or spawns a certain weapon, or maybe you want some entire like this like crate of stuff that he's got on the back, like his backpack. It drops like all his items on the ground, and he has to go over there and get them before like the NPCs like make them disappear. Or maybe they take damage when they're out in the world, like weathering or something. Who knows? Game state. Yep. We have our inputs, and our weapon is a lot better. Yep. This system's going to get a lot more advanced and a lot better soon. What I should do is, well, I can. What I'm thinking about is what I'm thinking about is there's so many of these scripts that I've got. The problem is right now is there's no way that I can use an animator or an animation system itself. The animator is the new mechanism system, but the animation system is the legacy one, and there's no way to do both or just one. And what I'm thinking is using an inheritance from a base class and have that base class have functions to call, like not actual functions, but actual have the override methods, and then use two different types of classes to call what animations I need. Like, okay, the animation, the legacy one, has a play function. So we can do a public override, and then it takes a string and it just plays. You know, the legacy system will, you know, want a crossfade or something, but I don't want to make it where it only does one. I mean, that kind of sucks. One or the other, make a decision. Because some people hate the legacy system, and then some people like it. And then some people like the mechanism system, but others hate the mechanism, you know? Vice versa. You have like a twist of both of them. So writing a script for it would actually be more of a benefit that would do both. It would actually be really great for us anyway. And in all honesty, the only time we're actually doing a play animation is during the idle states, the running, and the reloading. So I know I can customize a script to do all that. I know I can. It would be easy for this kit, but it wouldn't like be modular enough for like everyone, but it would work for this one. And what I'm thinking is we have this player walking this. Yes. Okay, so where is our thing? Where is the script that I'm looking for? Anim base. We'll do just like any other one. On start. On update. And we're gonna have to have a public void anim play. Okay, and what this one will do is we need this one to take a string. Okay, and that is the one that we need it to do right there. And the thing about this is, and most people don't know this, is a method overload. Okay, dot play. Then we have this one do a bool. Okay, we'll have a bool, that, and that. And that could be as much as we need right there. And these will be public virtuals. Okay, because we need both of them to have the functionality to call from. And then we have anim base on update. We'll have these be public virtuals as well, because we're going to need start functionalities and updates. Public virtual on update. Okay. And we need another one that's going to take a not a bool, but a float. Okay. A string and a float. Okay. So that is definitely going to be a method overload. And that is method overloading. That actually is what it pretty much is by definition. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. So we have that, and we have our base class. Okay, so this is going to be our base class, which is fine by me, I guess. So how are we going to do this? I know it's going to be here. Okay, and we're going to create another script. And I'm going to call this anim player. This actually might turn out better than I think, actually. Okay, and reload. And this be the base class, which we don't need none of this junk, but we do need some of the other junk, which is coming from anim base, blah, and we need this stuff. Okay, anim player, boom. And we will need it to be an override. Okay, and paste this in here, paste this in here, paste this in here, and paste this in here. Okay. So it does all that stuff. Alright, so that's the anim one. So what do we do about the animation one? Which is the one that I need actually right now, because I don't want to like make it where we can't. Okay, why did it animation player? I could have probably made this entirely static, but I don't think we should. Yeah, we could. I mean, it wouldn't hurt it, but you know, then it's there permanently, and some people don't like it that way. You know, there's good and bad to everything, I guess, and I don't see the reason for this to be a static class like that anyway. So I'm not exactly agreeing with that type of thing anyway. Okay, and base, and we've got all our overrides. Alright, so we're going to change the line ending. Boom. Alright, so in our classes in itself, we can reference the anim base script and just fill it in. And what I mean by that is simple, like this. we have our which would be really the best way of doing this? I guess the player walking thing. That would be okay, I guess. So we'll put this into a serializable field. Okay, and then we just go anim base. Anim. Okay? And the thing about it is, here's the really cool thing. Alright. Go into Unity. It's a little helper class. It's a little bit more scripts and stuff, which, I mean, come on. It's scripts. Okay? You're not going to get away from, using scripts. It's always going to happen. Don't worry about it. And, well, because we did this way, we can do an animation script like this and put it in here, which in our animation one, we're going to have a animation. Okay. Alright, and I'll be able to fill in this, okay, with the animation itself. Oh, really? It's not called an really? Okay, I'm confused. But, okay, I was hooking up to the wrong thing. Alright, that's fine. So, in this assault rifle thing that I got an animation. But that's the problem. I need... What if I need a animator? Well, I've got this other script, okay? Anim player, alright? Well, anim player, which I didn't put anything in that script. Yeah. And if we have something that actually has an animator on it. Ooh, this guy should. No. Robot Kelly? Yeah. Okay. So we'll drag him into the scene. Okay. Robot Kelly has an animator. Okay. So we can put this in here. Alright. Well, because this script is so modular and everything else, when we go to our character, I can, if I want to use an animator, I can put this in here. If I want to use an animation, the legacy system, all I got to do is change it. That's it. I can't do a get component and like find which one and stuff, but this gives me the ability to go, hey, what's the thing that I need to play this gun? okay, this gun animation right here. Which type of system am I going to use? Am I going to use the legacy system, or am I going to use the thing? And well, the great thing about it is it can't separate the two right here for the script. But if I only use the legacy system on my weapons because I like it or something, then I can go into the weapon itself and just do get component. The beauty of this is so modular, it doesn't matter which one of these is on the gun itself. When I do reloading, I do a bool, okay? And if it was the legacy system, all I have to do is do a crossfade. That's it. Bool is reloading, crossfade, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So I can program this directly into the script for the legacy system. Okay? Or I can use the mechanism system. I don't have to change the logic from my gun. I just change it from the animation system that I'm using, the script itself that's pushing the information to it. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to change any type of weapon logic, just the animation script itself. So it wouldn't matter which one that I actually have on the weapon. So I can use a weapon that's got the mechanism system, or I can have both in any types of array objects. Like this weapon could have the legacy. This weapon could have the mechanism. This weapon could have the legacy, mechanism, and vice versa. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care. Because the animation script itself is taking care of all that heavy work. The weapon script is just giving the state info. If he's walking, if he's running, if he's reloading, he's just doing that specific thing. It doesn't care. And that's the beauty of it. If he's shooting, it's just going to do a shoot animation. So it's the benefit of what we're doing. And that's exactly what we're going after. Modularity on certain things, and then other stuff, just we don't care. Because it's so easy to come into our script and go, hey, change this logic up. Well, we got a string. Well, that's obvious. We go in here and we do, in this script, we'll go anim dot play. Okay. And what do we play? Well, we're going to be in this variable right here. Bam, done. Doesn't matter. The weapon logic does the heavy work. We're just doing the construction here. Okay, well, what else are we doing? Well, anim dot set bool. This is a bool play. Well, what are we doing? Well, guess what? The string for it is player. Okay. What's the bool? Plays. Bam. Done. And then in our other script, this is the legacy system. So we go anim dot add clip, play clip, or dot crossfade. Well, we want a crossfade. All right, sweet. We just type player. Bam, done. And whatever we need this script to do for our weaponry stuff, we can put it all in this script right here. And in all honesty, it would be really easy because, okay, when we're reloading, we're doing this on a bool value, okay? So it'd be a set bool, right? Well, that's fine. We're setting the bool to reload, and it keeps reloading, da 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 da. Or maybe we're doing it on a string value. That's possible. Yeah. Doing idles on the idles based on a float and a string value. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Okay. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. And over here we're setting the bool. Well, we could be doing a float over here and just set float. But maybe we want some other stuff in there, like some if statements. If this isn't idle, then do this, and we just do it in this script. And that's pretty much how we can do that. And because it's anim based, it's not going to care about certain things. It's not going to give two quarks about anything. All right. And in all honesty, when we do animations and call up animations, we're probably going to be doing it from here. But it could be on our substates anyway. I mean, it would make sense to make it on our substates anyway. Like walking right here, walking. And then we have one for running, right? And stuff. Well, we just do a reference in each one of them. I mean, it's a little bit more memory, but it's not that bad. It's a reference copy. It's not like it's a new copy, okay? And I don't want it to do get component every single time it runs code, okay? That's ridiculous. In our walking state anyway, we're probably going to be inputting values anyway. Well, no, we wouldn't be doing that. It would only be, yeah, we would only care about that in, yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, the only time we would have it is in the running state. It would have to in our begin run, we would have like in our walking thing right here, this on start right here, in our anim thing, I would put running equals false in the animator. Like right here. That way we can minimize some of the calls. Like anim dot and see how we have more than one. Well, we would have a string value that we would pass, which would be running, right? Well, run, and we will put this as false because we're not running, so it's false. And our inputs do this crap anyway. Okay, our inputs actually swap the states anyway. Like we don't have to worry about like this update feature and checking that we're not running and stuff like that. We only do one check right here. If running equals true, it it goes to the running state. It swaps to our running script, which we haven't done yet, but we would do the same thing here. It'd be the same thing except running would be true. Okay? Simple as that. It'd be marvelous. Marvelously easy. So, yeah, I think we're pretty much done for today. Robot Kelly, goodbye, my son. And like I said, this makes it very easy to swap around and stuff, and it won't care what we have weapon wise. You know, it's a little bit more scripting, and you know, I mean, granted, yes, there's a lot of scripts on our guy, but these scripts right here don't have to be on this particular thing. This input thing, it has to be on our player. Yeah, that's cool. Blah blah blah. But the save logic, that's part of the player, the managing system. That'll be on a different game object. This start thing, spawning, is playing. Is playing? Is that one of the thing? No, that would be another game object, like a world object. Okay. And these three right here would actually be part of it. The save logic wouldn't be part of nothing. I mean, that would be itself. In the game state, yeah, that would be. Actually, I probably should. Actually, I'll just do it right now. Okay. So, inputs, yes. Game state, no. It's crap, and I don't want to. Actually, I'm going to put this as the player. This is going to be the player. Because I don't want to go and do all this referencing again if I don't have to. So we have this weapon thing. Okay. Copy component. And I'm just going to delete it from here. And paste it in. Paste is new. And it's got all that other stuff in it. That's fine. Game state inputs. Yep. That would be part of the pro thing. Post and new. Okay. Save logic stays there. That stays there. Advanced player thing. That is definitely something that we're going to take someplace else. Okay. So paste component new. Blah. Okay. Is playing. Is not part of our player stuff. Idle is not part of our thing. Spawning, that's part of this thing, right? Is playing. Okay, save logic, not is playing. Walking, yep, is part of our other script. We don't need this to be here either. So this is all our scripts that we would have over here on our player. And this one would be managing all those things. Okay. Which, you know, isn't that bad. I mean, yeah, there's a few, blah. But it's not bad. I mean, you should see some of my other games I've got. My game's got more scripts on the player than this. I have a script for pretty much everything. And you know, we reference the advanced player. If we had a character controller, we would reference that. Our weapon. Our weapon needs a reference. Wow. Did that stuff? Our weapon base thing, that actually gets done at runtime. So we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Our gun object actually comes from an asset bundle now, so we don't need that. So in our, we need our player idle thing. Where is our player idle position? We don't exactly have that. That's fine. Okay, walking idle is the first one. Okay. Walking is the next one. Okay. And we'll need to program running is jumping, chatting, death, in menu, pause, and all that stuff. Which obviously, when we do pause, I'm just going to make the player itself tell the manager, hey, pop up all my menu stuff. And that'll be a good place for it anyway, because I hate having it up on like all the other stuff. Like this canvas and stuff, yeah, I'm cool with some stuff being there, and you got your viewports and your contents and all this other stuff, but I don't like that we I don't like that, you know, I have to do an update in that stuff, or heck, I don't know. I do know this much. I'd much rather have it check one script and update than have it do a whole bunch of work. I mean, our game state manager does minimal work, like very minimal. Because, where is it? Game state. Okay. It does this. It has references. But in the update function, it's only updating the NPC stuff. It's got a fixed update, but it's just to do the delegate, which we might delete anyway. This player spawn, well, I think we actually got rid of that now. I don't think we actually have that. Yeah, I think we got state things for that. Yeah, we are going to get rid of that anyway. So yeah, we're going to be getting rid of this code. Spawning enemies. Yeah, that's probably going to be a thing by itself. That's probably going to be still there. This right here, we don't need this. But we might. Start game. Game state is playing. What is playing doing? Update? No. We're going to need a game over state. Yep, that's for sure. So in our manager thing, where we done a bunch of these scripts, we're going to have to make a game over state. Manager, saving, spawning, start game, game state is playing. We're going to have to do a game over. That's definitely something that we're gonna be doing. We're gonna have game over, and then probably a quit. And the reason why we do it this way is, um, when this right here gets swapped to quit, we'll have the quit menu turn off everything in the menu system, like all the game objects that it possibly needs, that kind of stuff, and only show that menu itself. Be something by itself. That way, we can keep the game over and quit stuff. It will allow the player to pop up a menu, and it'll make it really easy to write because the script will be so short. It'll be, are you sure you want to quit? Because we'll just change it to the state. Okay, like we did spawning or anything else. We'll go into the game state and we'll hit the delegate. Our little property thing. We'll go into our pause menu, and then our button will be so easy to write. We'll put a script on a button on one of the menus that goes, are you sure you want to quit the game? And that one menu will be updating every frame, going, seeing what all he pushed, and if he does need stuff. Maybe we, when the menu pops up, we want to fade out the background, but we need an update function for that. It's going to make it a lot easier on your game to have one menu, one update running, and disable everything else. It's just going to work. Trust me, it's going to work. Doing a system like this for menus is a whole lot better than all kinds of if statements. This looks long, but this is actually quite simple. Quite simple. This is actually a really small script. My menu system for my other game that I've done myself, it's a whole lot more than this. Whole lot more. I have a canvas group, for God's sakes, for it. And I just made canvases for each kind of different thing, so. But, yeah, you want to like, hit, subscribe, do the YouTube thing and everything, just, holler and stuff. But I hope you guys learned something from using the type of system that I introduced you into. And the smallest example of it is overthrowing if statements. That's what you want. If you understand that video, then you'll understand everything that's here today. Because it's a whole lot easier to use. And it uses inheritance, something that I've been telling you is bad in some cases, and other cases is really good. So I'll let you guys decide what you want to do. So like, hit, subscribe, share, do your thing, and have a nice day, or check out my Patreon and that stuff. But peace, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning.